In the streets where I prefer to be, Hollywood drive-by, motherfucking murder fest, weed clouds in the air that cause turbulence, revolution, motherfucker, you heard of it. I like to spliff with the flag while I'm burning it. Hollywood drive-by, spraying the cucarachas, war with the system like the streets of Oaxaca. Yeah, revolution, motherfucker, you scared of it? Well, it's coming to the industry now, so be prepared.
Hey. Hey.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, and welcome back to episode 3 of this Guitarist attempts drumming, whatever the fuck this is. So, we're changing up the format because I am not gonna practice. I gotta accept that. So, we're changing the format. I gave Julia a list of a bunch of rap songs I really like, and since it's just like a repeated beat, I figured she could try to show me like a drum pattern for a song per lesson, and then that's something that I actually might have a chance of practicing, because if I just want to chill and listen to some rap music, maybe I'll fucking hit some sticks against something, I don't know.
That's basically what drumming is. Like,
Yeah.
you're just hitting stuff.
So of the songs I sent you, did you pick one for today, or
I
how are you
mean,
gonna do it?
yeah, I just went down the list, so I picked the first one.
A Hollywood Drive-By
Yeah, this is it.
by Immortal Technique.
Basically what we'll do is we'll learn the bass and the snare pattern. I'm kind of curious how you learn guitar, like when you learn like a riff or a part, do you like learn it note for note, or is there like a simplified version and then you add detail to it, or...
My practice methods are maybe not great, but when I learn something, I usually just try to like sight read it through the first time, the whole song or the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just to see where I'm at with the piece, and then if I totally botch it, I will stop and I'll go back and take it part by part.
Yeah.
But usually I can like make it through, and then I'll go and look at harder sections, but I don't ever really like take it down into parts. I guess sometimes if it's really hard, I might just practice the right hand for a bit and then just practice the left hand for a bit.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
But that's only if it, like, I generally don't force myself to learn anything that difficult because I get too angry.
Well, I'm curious because the reason why is whenever I learn at least like a rock beat or a hip hop beat, like I'm not super well versed in playing hip hop, but I do like some of the rhythms. Basically, there's always a backbeat, or most of the time there's a backbeat, which is the snare, and that's like the thing that you hear. It's like the first thing that you can pick out usually if you're starting to listen to what the drums are doing. And then the bass drum, so like the interaction between the bass and the snare will create the rhythm. So usually I'll just start off with what the actual rhythm is, and then I can add like the voice or the pulse, which is usually like the hi-hat or the ride, or, you know, in hip-hop it's a lot of like electronic drums, so it's not, you know, it could be like a clapping sound and some other weird snap sound or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like try to learn what the bass and the snare pattern is. That's like the spine of the rhythm, and then you can add detail on top of that later. So if you want to get into 3-limb coordination where you're playing your bass, your snare, and then your right hand, then that I think is the part that's going to take like actual practice. That will take a while. Well, I mean, depending, like everybody learns differently. Like some people pick it up right away. Other people need a little bit of time. But I think like the basic spine of it is pretty sweet, because you even that you can just air drum when you're listening to it, like just on your thighs. Yeah, just good old knee slappers. You don't necessarily have to play it with your sticks and make a bunch of noise.
Okay.
So anyway, I was gonna show you like the really basic idea of this song.
Okay.
And then we'll like just kind of decorate it a little bit and add a little bit more detail. So like I'm gonna play the bass part on my right hand. So I have like a separate surface that I'm hitting. So something that's a little bit softer sounding. It could be like on a pillow or whichever is like a softer, bassier sound. And then the left hand will be the snare part.
Okay.
And that'll be kind of like a sharper, harder hit. So it doesn't really matter at this point, as long as your right hand you kind of associate with your bass drum, and your left hand's going to be your snare.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where we'll kind of start. I'll just play something out and just see if you can pick it up by ear.
Okay.
We'll just go from there. So can you do something like this, like?
So it's right, left, right, left?
Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be bass, snare, bass, snare, or if you're gonna count it, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
Right? Basically, the whole song is like 2-bar phrasings. So the first bar is basically like that, and then the second bar is a little bit different. A lot of hip hop songs have kind of like this triplet feel, or like the 16th note triplet feel. So I'm gonna add like a little shuffle at the end of both bars. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1.
Okay.
Like that. It's like a little skip.
So 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1.
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good feel, right? It has to have this sort of like swing to it. A lot of times it has that. It could be a 16th note. You can think of it as like just the 16th note on the but a lot of times it's a little bit more of a triplet feel. And then the last thing, like honestly, if you get this last part, that's basically the whole idea.
Okay.
The second bar, when you play the 3 and on the bass, you want to turn that into a shuffle as well, or put the second bass on the So the first bar would be 1, 2, 3, and 4, a 1, and then the second bar, 1, 2, 3, a 4, a 1.
Okay, so the second time you do the same thing, the da-da, but in the second beat.
Yeah, you kind of make the 2 basses into a shuffle rather than just straight 8th notes.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, a 3, and...
Oh, close. It starts on the 3 and the is right before the 4. I'll play the whole thing. Whoops.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, 3, a 4.
So 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, 3, a 4. A 1.
Yeah.
Okay, let me try this again.
Yeah.
Okay, but so the 3, a 4, that's both right hand? 3, a 4?
Yeah, because I explained the backbeat before. The backbeat is the snare, and that's always on 2 and on 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. A 1, 2, 3, a 4, a 1.
A 1, 2. Is that right?
Yeah, that was the beat like the whole way through. So,
Okay.
So that's the basic idea, right? So what I would learn patterns like this just with my hands, or just like air drumming or hitting my thighs, whatever, and then I'll put the song on, and I'll see if I can just like hold on to it, because you get so distracted by the lyrics and the melody and everything.
Totally.
That you can easily try and follow the rhythm of like something else in the song.
Yeah.
So you have to be consistent in like what you're playing. And honestly, I was listening to this song, and the second bar, it is a little bit hard for me to hear like what the bass pattern is doing there. So I could be a little bit wrong, but like whatever. It's not a super important thing all the time. It's more of the feel.
Okay.
Or I could just be making excuses, but yeah.
So should I pull that up on YouTube right now?
Yeah, if you can play it, and I feel like it was kind of close to the tempo. It might be a little bit faster than that.
War with the system like the streets of Oaxaca. Yeah, revolution, motherfucker, you scared of it? Well, it's coming to the industry now, so be prepared for it.
Alright, so I listened to you. You seem to have gotten it for the most part, but it wasn't like consistent all the way through. Like, you kind of lost track, but you learned it by ear. So you learned the rhythm and you're trying to memorize it. What I can do is also send you the tab, just like a really simple rhythm tab.
Okay.
And just kind of tell you, like, this is the right hand, that's the left hand. And you can follow that. The next step, once you get the repetition of it, I guess, is to try and play the right foot together with your right hand. So you just be following. Which is hard when you're doing that really fast da-dum, that shuffle, that part at the end.
And should I be trying to do like a full stomp, or should I just try the toe or just the heel or something?
There's different ways that people play. I play heel up. I'm kind of like on my toe. I kind of just drop my foot a little bit like that. But some people play heel down and they just lift up their toe and they tap that way.
Yeah, it feels nice to do that.
Yeah.
Let me try it. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Go 1. This is really hard to get the da-da.
Da-dum, yeah.
I feel like I'm only doing one of them.
Yeah, you're not getting it in time, so it's a little bit offset. Basically, once you've learned like the pattern between your bass and your snare, or your right and your left hand, you can try playing your bass together with your right hand. But then you want to take that right hand out completely and just play the pattern between your bass and your snare. So go through that with the song, like put the song on and see if you can kind of repeat it. That really gives you develops your ear so you can hear where the rhythm is. Next would be like adding a 3-limb coordination, adding like a right hand on the hi-hat, where you're kind of keeping the right hand going. But that is actually quite a bit more, I think, advanced than just playing 2-limb. So at this point, I think learning a bunch of songs with just the bass and the snare pattern, that's probably a good place to start. Yeah, that was sweet.
Awesome. Okay, thanks, Julia.
Welcome.
So, that was fun. I'm gonna keep practicing a little bit. I'm gonna try that song again.
Let's do this. I let these motherfuckers know right now. People like revolution. Somebody talk shit to me in LA. I never live. This brown rose deeper than red or blue ever did. I got bullets that'll rip through your ribs. More painful than watching R. Kelly piss on your kids. Here's the ultimatum, motherfucker. Give me the ass cap or give America Biggie and Tupac flashbacks. Some niggas don't think the underground is grimy and dirty till they find your body on a fucking highway in Jersey. I fire rockets at generic topics. Your lyrics don't hold weight like two-dimensional objects. Cause jail culture didn't give you that fitted hat to memorize a ghost-written shit verse and spit it back. I won't let your whack rhymes redefine lyricism for a whole generation with their fathers in prison. You live inside the image of an era that's gone, like government officials trying to justify Vietnam. I leave niggas traumatized like they mama died and they was responsible for the drive-by homicide. And I don't walk it, revolution, I live it. What you think cause you fake, everyone else is a gimmick. Jealous, bickering, industry slaves, the nerve of you. Like a child prostitute born into a life of servitude until we murder you, making a red carpet burgundy. The psycho realm in the streets where I prefer to be. Hollywood drive-by, motherfucking murder fest. Weed clouds in the air that cause turbulence. Revolution, motherfucker, you heard of it. I like to spliff with the flag while I'm burning it. Hollywood drive-by, spraying the cucarachas. War with the system like the streets of Oaxaca. Yeah, revolution, motherfucker, you scared of it? Well, it's coming to the industry now, so be prepared for
You're on
it.
some bullshit tracks, I spit them full-clip raps, while most of these gangster rappers are some full-fledged rats. The real G stay strapped in full combat. What you see in the videos is full-on acts. The streets don't believe you, homie. Armageddon in the rap game is coming and we lead the army. Rock, terror, tape, audio sounds. Got hostages in pink, this is what they call hip-hop now. I keep that metro shit out of my whip. Man, that dummy rap is through making money, it's about to extinct. You know the radio trying to kill rap with that shit. The only thing dying is the DJs when the case spin. We're headed CEOs and blow up A&Rs. I'm taking your chips like crashing your game of cards. This is how I eat homes, I will give you bars and take the life for these stars for the sing of ours.
Hollywood drive-by, motherfucking murder fest. Weed clouds in the air that cause turbulence. Revolution, motherfucker, you heard of it. I like to spliff with the flag while I'm burning it. Hollywood drive-by, spraying the cucarachas. War with the system like the streets of Oaxaca. Yeah, revolution, motherfucker, you scared of it? But it's coming to the industry now, so
I'm
be
from the
prepared
city
for
of
it.
falling stars, the home of banging hard. Waiting for them at the Radio City Hall to snatch them out the fucking car. Expose them for what they are. Narcs, Jakes, naked formants, feeding us horseshit, blaze up all of them. They say hip-hop doesn't exist. Rappers talking hard, dressed up like punk rock kids. Pumped up by some corporate endorsement. Dead corpses are voiceless, no one hears you, homie. Your little fame is over. We'll send little homies for closure like bankers, cause you owe us the mortgage for exploiting the lifestyle that many died, jailed up in storage, leaving most of us hopeless. Homies ready and focused. What we building got them all afraid. Give me the K, I'll be honored to ignite the flame that'll burn down the game. What's fame keeping? Or movement? A silent war, motherfucker, you sleeping.
Hollywood drive-by, motherfucking murder fest. Weed clouds in the air that cause turbulence. Revolution, motherfucker, you heard of it. I like to spliff with the flag while I'm burning it. Hollywood drive-by, spraying the cucarachas. War with the system like the streets of Oaxaca. Yeah, revolution, motherfucker, you scared of it? Well, it's coming to the industry now, so be prepared for it.